Welcome, sassy. Hold on. Oh, wait. Hold on. Wait just a little bit longer. Wait just a little bit longer. And record. Okay, there we go. Does that sound better? Does that sound better? Hold on, let me... Welcome, Sassins. Welcome, Sassins. To this week's... I was about to say Rantview. To this week's vlog. Episode 28, 9. I didn't post one last week. I have failed you yet. Once more, will it never cease from my end. Last week, I really did try to put out one. But I had a fluff load of editing to do, and it was really late at night, and I got everything wrong. Let's just put it that way. I got everything wrong. But this time I'm back. I'm doing better. And I will not fail you. Wow, that is a big bug. Don't worry about it. You can't see it. I can. Oh, I can see it. Okay, so hold on 1 second. I meant to hit on this previously. What is this, you say? What is this? This is a wormwood dice holder. See that? It is magnetized. Oh, so satisfying. Oh, so satisfying. Anyway, okay. So these dice, this is red jasper, a precious stone, I think? No, semi-precious stone. I'll get a precious stone one of these days of dice. Don't you worry about that. I got these at PAX. This is solid brass. It's so heavy. You could do exercises with it. Oh, and I got them from I was about to say Scottish. Nothing is right in my head right now. A Australian dice company called Level Up Dice, and one of the primary questions I have for a lot of dice is like, how can you guarantee that this is perfect randomness? Because if there's even a little bit of weight oriented towards any one of these 20 sides, it makes it so that it's more likely to land on the opposite side from where it's the most heavy, if that makes sense. And they said that they shave off. They'll weigh, shave, weigh, shave, weigh, shave, weigh, shave, weigh, shave, weigh. Sorry. So they will weigh it, and then they'll, shave off enough to make it perfectly even, and then they'll do that for every single side. I kind of call bullshit, but I kind of don't want to call bullshit in my own mind, because I want it to be a placebo effect to where it, in my mind, converts all of these to be absolutely random. I don't know if I've said this before, but I am a notoriously low roller, so that works great with, my players think that I am a lenient DM, when in my mind I'm like, this will finally kill them! And then 4 ones rolled in a row later, and he's laying down on the ground dead. Anyway, so, wow, I've really gone off about these dice, but they're lovely, they're wonderful. Wormwood, I think it's either it's Wormwood Gaming, it's Wormwood something for this, and then Level Up Dice for these. You can bet your ass I will get precious stone dice one of these days. So enough about that. On to some updates. I know I keep saying this, but I'm almost done with the Final Fantasy 15 Rantview. Remember how before I was like, I don't know if I'm going to even post it because it's coming out as more angry than sort of it's not funny angry. It just comes off as like genuine ranting anger. So I will blame that on the 10 years I had to wait. I will blame that on the continual failings of Square Enix, in my eyes anyway, for Final Fantasies. And yeah, it's just a huge culmination of all of my powerful feelings towards Square Enix and the Final Fantasy series. But anyway, that was screened last night amongst my friends and roommates, and they all agreed that it still needed a lot of editing to be done to make it watchable by normal, kind-hearted YouTubers. So I hopefully will be releasing it on Thursday if I have a lot of time to edit tomorrow, which would be for Wednesday. So yeah, that's the update on that front. I'm releasing a Let's Play tomorrow as well, Kingdom Hearts 2. I'm not even going to get into the title. This goes up today. And then the VGFP is after that. And then I'm probably going to take a lot of time off to work on cosplay, which I think I said this last time, but I'm not sure. Will be something from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Thor, because Ragnarok is coming out. I think that's what the new movie is called. And then something from Dragon Ball Z or something random. I never finished Broly. I pointed at a Broly painting like you could see it, but it's not. You can't. From Dragon Ball Z. So yeah, those will be my cosplays. And that's it for updates. Now on to questions from the lovely friends and followers on YouTube. Curtis Roy. His question is, really it's when am I going to release anything on the most recent Fire Emblem, which is still about 2 years old. And for that, Curtis, I will tell you that I've been playing that for about a year. I've been playing the one with the Hoshidian clan, because they seem like naturally the nice guys. And I've been trying to beat it. I play it on my flights every time I go somewhere if I'm not writing out D&D stuff. And it's a long game, man. Super long. So answer is I haven't actually beaten that one, and I would like to play the other one as well afterwards. So I'm still working on it. But probably something will come when I beat it. But to be honest, I am not as in love with this one as I was the previous one, Awakening, because it's pretty much the exact same game, exact same animations, exact same classes, exact same. It's just new characters, which is great. It blows my mind how many caricatures they can actually create and sort of like have them bursting with personality. So yeah, the answer is I'm not as passionate about it. Still love the series. Still love this game. Still want to play through. Haven't beaten it yet, or the other one. So Aaron Percy, his question, amongst a lot of amazing other things that he's been writing as well, is what do you think about simulation theory, or I guess more in general, the idea that there is more to reality than what our five senses can gather? And to that I say I did a very, very slight amount of research on simulation theory, because I think I'd heard about it before in sort of like passing, more like, oh, did you hear, there's a new theory that scientists think that we're living in a simulation? That could be a possibility. I'll say I'll take your question in one of two ways. One, the first way being, no, I don't think that we're living in a simulation. I mean, just because me personally, I have no proof. I don't know why. I don't know how that would affect my life if I were to think that way. If I was to think that way, then most everything would be pointless, and I would probably be streaking in the streets, doing everything that my heart desires before ultimately leading up to the point where I have 5 stars and tanks are after me and I get blown up. Because if life is a simulation, then that there doesn't really mean that there's a lot of point to it, unless it's like Rick and Morty and I can escape the simulation within the simulation within the simulation and blow up the aliens. And so I guess I'll keep my eyes peeled for any glitches in the system. But anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to boil it down and kind of make fun of the question. But the genuine answer is I don't think that we're in a simulation. I don't want to think that we're in a simulation. The other way that I would take it is just your second part of the sentence, which is the idea, and because possibly I researched something that wasn't what you were talking about, the idea that there's more to reality than our 5 senses can gather. And for that answer, I would say that the human race would have to be extremely arrogant to think that their 5 senses, which also there's been proven to that we have many more senses than just 5, a lot of different senses working together to contribute to our sense of balance, to our orientation, to a lot of different, almost subconscious aspects to our lives that we don't even think about, that just comes naturally to us. Anyway, so I would say that to think that everything in the galaxy, in the universe, can be perceived by our 5 senses, I think is foolish to think, and I think that absolutely there are many, many other potential sensations and experiences outside of what we can perceive. I hope that was a satisfying answer. Most likely not, but thank you for the question. That was a very interesting one. And yeah, can't wait to run a D&D science fiction game. There is one called Cyberpunk. I honestly haven't done too much research in it, but just the fact that it is a science fiction theater of the mind game, I really am debating buying it and reading all through it. My only worry is that fantasy D&D is pretty... It's not easy to run, but it is easier to run because you can explain anything with magic. You can create almost any scenario in a fantasy world, and nobody will question whether or not it makes absolute sense, because it's a fantasy world. Anything can happen there. So that is what I would debate. But the D&D stream is we're still trying. I found out that the 2 cameras that we're using, so out of 3 camera angles that we need for D&D, this is a whole nother tangent. I hope that I have enough battery. I hope it's recording. Oh, motherfucker. This is going to be a podcast. Hey, guys. Oh, God. I wasn't recording this whole time. Or was I? Did I have room? Did I just run out of room? Let's see. No, I still... Oh, my goodness. Okay, so sorry. Where was I? There was one question I had left by Soul of Bass. God. No. It's Soul of Bass. And then it says 1 week ago. Where am I going? And his question is, and I really like this question, what JRPG staple would you like to see more of and in Western RPGs and vice versa? For the JRPG and Western RPGs question, me personally, I really, really enjoy, I grew up watching anime. Anime was Trigun, episode 3, was the very first anime I'd ever seen. Actually, take that back. Dragon Ball Z in Spanish. God, what was his name? BoJack. That movie was the first one that I had seen, and both of them were extremely captivating to me. So I've been sort of enthralled by anime for most of my life, and so just the sort of the aesthetic and the characters and the story, and the sort of anime-esque nature of a JRPG is one of the largest appeals to me. So what a Western RPG would have to do to sort of take that would be literally just make it, a cel-shaded game, make it a, what I would enjoy seeing is a Western story in a JRPG sort of aesthetic. So like Western story, Western gameplay mechanics, because for the most part, Western RPGs go with a either third person or first person sort of action adventure game where the action is based out of a shooting mechanic, if that makes sense, and very light on the swordplay. Whereas JRPGs are more so, if you take it out of turn-based, which is a huge staple of JRPG, and you add in, JRPGs are turn-based and more so hack and slash if it's a JRPG. So swapping the two would be very interesting to see as well. If you started to make more of a run and gun, sort of like Mass Effect-esque JRPG, I really wonder how that would operate. So it's really switching the skin on a Western RPG and then bringing the story of a Western RPG to JRPGs and then switching the gameplay as well. For my mind, I'm just like, I wonder what this would be like, and this would be like, and this would be like. I think they both excel really well in a lot of different things, but I think that Western RPGs stay more fresh because it's not held back by that anime aesthetic and that anime story, that anime formula that a lot of JRPGs and animes are going now these days, which is like, my friends will lead me to victory, bad man entity in the sky, and now we're teleported to some ethereal dimension where I'm facing this ultimate being, and the way that we're gonna beat him is by not giving up and fist bumping our friends to show them that we can't be intimidated. Sorry, that was kind of a rant tangent on that one, but you get the point. So that's like the formula that I have seen through so many times for animes and JRPGs, which is, we'll try harder to win, and we win. Anyway, sorry, so I'll finish on that. Hopefully, I answered that question. But, you know, technically I did answer it. Whether or not it made sense is a whole nother story. So, and I will also tell you, Soul of Base, stick with The Witcher. If it ends up not being your game after a while, don't worry about it. There's no reason to force yourself to get through something that you're not enjoying. But The Witcher is a very, very well done Western RPG where the side quests have put so much thought and detail and story into them that it's just like the entire game to me is compelling in every single aspect. But then again, I have read every single Witcher book and played all of the games. So, you know, my opinion of it is skewed a little bit. Okay, I think that does it. I think I'm at like a pretty long time, and most of it doesn't have any video, so son of a bitch. Well, as always, oh, I'm so sorry. As always, until fate next brings us together, and never stop playing video games.